I went to see 4 shows recently. End of the Rainbow, The Kissing Dance, Flare Path and Spelling Bee. I saw all these shows back in March, so it's, what I mean by recent is March basically, because now we're in April and I haven't actually been to the theatre since the beginning of April, which is quite sad. But yeah, these were all small scale shows, I suppose, or shows that only have like a limited run. So that's my main reason for including them all in one video instead of making individual videos for each of them. And also because I don't really have much to say about like every one of them. So if I were to do individual videos for each of these shows, the videos are probably going to be about like 50 seconds long or something. So I just thought I'd make one video and include them all in one, really. Another reason is that I just don't have the time. Anyway, the first show I want to review is End of the Rainbow. I saw this back in early March, I think it was, and very much enjoyed it. It was very different to anything I'd seen before, and it's also, as you may know, it's a play, it's not a musical. There's some singing in it, but it's considered a play. Yeah, it was amazing. The acting in it was just incredible. Tracy Bennett, who plays Judy Garland, is fantastic. Seriously, she's phenomenal. She is amazing. Yeah, she is possibly one of the best actors I've ever seen on stage, really. She was so believable as Judy, and the emotions that she had to go through on stage, she was just incredibly believable, and never for a second did I think I was watching Tracy. She was just always in character and just brought something very new and special to the character. She was just great. So yeah, that's a show that I really enjoyed, and it's at the Trafalgar Studios, and I would definitely recommend it if you can go and see it. I think it finishes in May sometimes, I'm not actually sure, but yeah, it's on until maybe for another month or so, so you can go and see that if you wish to see it. It's really good. It really is good. The second show I went to see is The Kissing Dance. Now this is a musical, and it is at the Jermyn Street Theatre in Piccadilly. The main reason that I went to see this, other than the fact that it's a musical and I just love musicals in general, is that Gina Beck is in it, and she is one of my favourite performers. And I'd seen her a few times in Phantom of the Opera, so I was interested to see her in something completely different, and I thought, since she's in it, I might as well go and check out the musical. And all I can say about this show is that it was probably one of the most enjoyable shows that I've ever seen. It is just, I think it was, I don't know, it's a very British musical, obviously. It is produced by Peter Huntley, and the music is by Howard Goodall. And I have to say, I absolutely loved the music. I think the music was probably one of the highlights of the show. I mean, actually, no, everything in the show was perfect. I can't even think of a highlight because every part of the show was amazing. But the music, just in general, because one thing I really like in musicals, and I pay attention to in musicals, is the music. If I don't really like the music, I just don't tend to enjoy the musical as much. But the music for this show, The Kissing Dance, is absolutely amazing. I don't know, it's just really nice, beautiful melodies and great lyrics. And it's all the actors that sing the songs have amazing voices. Obviously Gina Beck, who was in Phantom, is amazing, and then all the other actors as well just have lovely voices, so the songs just sounded amazing when they sang them. I also have to mention the costumes, which were all very beautiful, very nice. The show also has a few actor musicians who came on stage with their instruments and played and acted and everything, which is amazing because they're all very talented. Yeah, overall it was just a very, very enjoyable, nice piece of theatre, and when I came out I was just like, oh, that was lovely. I really, really enjoyed that show. And it's also very funny because it's quite a witty show. It's meant to be quite funny, and I laughed at a lot of the parts of the show. So yeah, nice music, funny, interesting, beautiful costumes, great acting, definitely worth seeing. The show ends on the 23rd of April, so it only has a short run, so you've only got about maybe a couple of weeks to go and see it. Go. The next show I went to see was Flare Path at the Royal Haymarket. Now this is a play, and as you may know, I don't usually go to plays, but the main reason I went to see this play in particular was because Sheridan Smith's in it. And as I've mentioned in previous videos, I saw Sheridan many times when she was playing Elle in Legally Blonde. Really loved her performances every single time, so I was very curious to see her in something completely different, something more serious. I mean, the character that she plays in Flare Path couldn't be more different than Elle was in Legally Blonde. It was just a completely different character. And I have to say, even though everyone in the show were amazing, Sheridan Smith was definitely the star of the show. She played the character of Countess Krzyzewski, I can't even pronounce that name, very, very well. And in fact, I think one of her scenes where James Purefoy, who plays Peter Kyle, has to read a letter to her from her husband, who she thinks has died, is actually the highlight of the show, I think. Because her expressions, Sheridan's expressions on her face when she's being read the letter, are so brilliant and just so believable. She really, really portrays every emotion that her character's going through really, really well. I just cannot praise her enough for her part in this show. Sienna Miller is also in this show, and she was also amazing. But I think Sheridan Smith was definitely the star of the show. So yeah, this is basically a play about World War II and all the difficulties and struggles that comes with it, and how families and people who had people going to the war actually had to cope with the situation. It is very, very heartbreaking in a way, but yeah, very, very good play. I thought the first act was a bit slow, but the second act was amazing, and the first act was still good. It was just slightly slow, a bit too slow for me, because maybe that's just because I'm not used to plays, and I just found it slightly, maybe a bit boring. But no, it was good. It was just, it could have been a bit more fast paced, but it was good nonetheless. And it was just refreshing to see proper acting on stage from all the actors, because for someone like me who usually goes to musicals, I don't really get the chance to see proper straight acting on stage as much, because in musicals, although there is acting in musicals, it's obviously not as important. Acting in musicals isn't as important as it is in straight plays, because in plays all the focus is on the acting, whereas in musicals there's also dancing and choreography and singing. So yeah, it was just a really good play. This show is at the Theatre Royal Haymarket until June, I think. It's only just been extended actually, so you've got a couple of months to go and see this as well if you want to. And the last show I saw last month was Spelling Bee. Now, Spelling Bee, I've been recommended this show by a lot of people. Everyone was telling me that you should go and see this show, and you'll love it and enjoy it, and blah 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 blah. And this show was at the Donmar warehouse, and I've never been there, so I was interested to see the theatre as well. But if you've been to the Donmar, you'd know that it's quite a small theatre, and most of the performances for this show were sold out. So I was really lucky to get a ticket for one of the last performances, and I'm really glad I managed to catch it before it closed. It's actually closed now, so this review is probably a bit useless, but I just want to say it was a really fun show, and I very much enjoyed it, and I'm glad I got to see it. It's an American musical. It doesn't have an interval. It's quite short. It's only about maybe an hour and a half long. All the actors in it were brilliant. Always in character, and there's quite a lot of audience interaction going on as well. It was just fun, entertaining. It was like basically 1.5 hours of pure entertainment and fun. And yeah, I came out thinking, wow, that was just fun, and my program, So yeah, those were the 4 new shows that I saw in the month of March last month. I hope you enjoyed my small short reviews. And I'm not like a professional person or anything. I basically just review shows for fun, because I like going to theatre as a hobby, and I just enjoy talking about them. And my reviews are basically based on how I felt about the shows that I saw. So that's pretty much all there is to it. It's not very much professional or anything like that, and that's because I'm not professional. I don't work in a theatre related anything. I'm actually studying biomedical science at university, so it's just a hobby for me. So I hope you enjoyed them, and I hope that you get the chance to see some of these shows if you can, because they're all great, definitely worth seeing. Bye!